Hey, what's up, guys? Jake here with another episode of On the Rise Music Podcast. Today, we are honored to have special guest, DJ and producer, Robert Monster D. Love your music, man. How you been?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I love you guys' show.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're just trying to give you and other artists just a platform to speak your mind and you know just talk freely. I mean, not many times are you guys able to really connect with the fans. I mean, through music and everything. But we're here just to give you guys that extra push, just to expose you a little bit. So I mean, yeah, fans will begin to flock towards you.
It's awesome, man. Thank
So first question, I mean, based on your music and your name and everything, I do get like not so much graphic, but a very like monster vibe. Was that what you initially went for? Was that like a mute sound that you were developing, or was that just like you found the name and you were like, okay, I could do this with like music?
I went in just loving like really heavy, like filthy dubstep, and hearing that and be like, that's the kind of stuff that I'd make. So then the name I've just had, it's been a nickname for like 10 years now. So I was going to think of like, some other kind of weird name or, some DJ name, but I just couldn't think of a good one. I didn't really like it and feel right. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with my normal nickname, Monster D. So it worked really well. And like, I just love like the big, like heavy growls and like heavy dubstep. So the name fit perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, the more authentic you are, the more people can like connect and honestly understand you more as a producer. So yeah, I mean, sticking with your nickname. What's easier? Like people are being like, oh shit, Monster's coming out with music. Like, oh wait, that's his name. Like, so yeah, I mean, it's easier for even people that knew you before to connect to your music. What now? When did you first start getting into production, or was there a moment in your life when you were listening to all this like dubstep and EDM, and you were like, "Oh shit, I want to do this"?
The first little seed in my mind was one of my friends actually was getting into it too. Um, it was about a year before I decided to start making music, and he was like, "Oh, let's do it! Like, let's move and like just go all in and start, on production." And I didn't wind up doing it, but that was the first thought. I was like, dang, like what would my music be like? I wonder what I would do. And like I always just wanted to hear like remixes of dubstep songs that I like normal songs, but then like the dubstep remix.
Hmm.
And like so I was like, damn, I'm just gonna start making my own. Um, about like a year or so later. Um, and that was when I started school too. Like I'd only made a few songs before like I went in for music production. Um, and like I just decided like I'm just gonna go all in on it. And then like really just decided to start learning, like getting on it.
Hmm. I mean, that's a great way to start. I mean, people have to start somewhere, and if you start remixing and just playing with stuff, yeah, you'll begin to find what works for you and what you like ultimately um, see as your like I guess you could say key sound. Because I mean, I've talked to other people and other producers, and they said the same exact thing. They're like, I would listen to music and I would be like, oh, I want to remix this and put my flair on it. And then eventually they started making their own music, and now their music has their own flair. So yeah, I mean, it's great to start just I mean remixing, because you find producers and you listen to their sound, and then you add your taste on top. And I mean, we can see it. I can definitely see it in your music, and it really sets you apart from a lot of producers that we've listened to, and that honestly I've listened to like singularly. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, of course. So you've been producing since 2018, correct?
Yeah, about a little
Uh,
over two.
okay. Was there like an instrument? Like, did you ever play instruments when you were younger, or was it just that you just like were a really big fan of dubstep?
I played guitar when I was a teenager, like 15, 16, only for a couple of years. And I was never that good. I knew a few chords and like messed around, but it was never anything serious. And then just gave it up over time. And then, I was really into dubstep and really into hip hop at the time, EDM, and a lot of different music, and just felt like getting into it. And at first, I downloaded Ableton, and I couldn't make it do anything, like not a single noise or whatever. One of That computer went away, it broke or whatever. And then I had an old MacBook and had GarageBand on it, so I just started making beats and stuff on that and learning slowly over that.
Oh,
Then over
perfect.
time, yeah, it just grew.
So I'm guessing you're a student of the game, like you're constantly learning.
Yeah.
So you're more so like self-taught, like you just did this on your own and picked it up on your own.
Yeah, I started just like teaching myself how to make beats and everything. Like in the beginning, I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know the difference between like a kick and a snare and like any piano chords, any stuff. I just knew that I wanted to do it, so yeah, I started learning. It was like maybe about a month after I started learning. I decided I was at the time like I wanted to go to college for something, because I was like I'm not going to work like a normal job the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, well, it's going to be for something that I love. So I decided to start for music. So they both went hand in hand. It was good that like they were giving me like a good little little projects and stuff to work on because I just did it all online too. Just
Okay.
all online study. So it worked really well.
Yeah, I mean, in order for you, I've talked to a bunch of people and a bunch of different producers and even friends of mine, and they seem to, yeah, they all seem to start where they don't know a thing. Like they're just like, I'm really passionate about this and I want to learn it. And becoming a student, just in general in life, you're able to like push yourself and to really, because you want to learn, so you want to be the best. And I mean, you put in the time, you put in the hours, and you're going to create good art. You're going to create authentic art, and yeah, I really truly see it in what you're doing, and yeah, man, keep doing exactly what you're doing because I foresee a great future if I'm being honest.
You gotta try. Yeah, I didn't want to just get like stuck doing like the normal um, dubstep kind of music. I like just putting my own like mix on it and having fun. Um, just because it's just like art, expression. I don't think it should just like sound like everyone else. I try to make it a little bit different at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's your art. You put into it the energy you want to put into it, and putting your little flair on it, putting that little like monster, like that grime type of aesthetic sound to it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it makes you move, like whether you want to or whether you don't. Like you're gonna eventually end up like headbanging or just tapping a foot or something. So yeah, I mean, your individual sound is pretty crazy, man. It's definitely something that I've heard far and few between, but it's making some movement.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Yeah, of course. Now I understand you're studying for your fine arts. So how's that going? And are you still going to school right now? And how is the shift from like going on? Or are you solely online, or have you been like in person?
Yeah, all online the whole time. Just because like I didn't really want to go and like learn in a classroom, just no matter what. I'm just not that kind of learner.
Hmm.
So I just started doing online classes. Started 2 years ago, like pretty much right when I started making music. And then I'm graduating next month with an AA in music production, audio engineering. Then going back in the fall for my BFA, Bachelor in Fine Arts,
Hmm.
from production.
Yeah, congrats, man. I mean, keep grinding. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm a college student, so I know exactly like the grind and everything. I mean, that's really interesting that you said that you just you don't typically learn well in a classroom environment. Yeah, it's crazy because it's not one uniform way of teaching and way of learning. Like like independent study is in a way a lot easier because you can go at your own pace. You can search what you want. You can do like literally whatever you want at your own time. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it's super helpful for you too, especially because all the music production you're doing, all like just I mean, music learning that you're doing just to push yourself as an artist is really helping you, like with that online study and everything. So yeah, man, keep grinding. Congratulations on your final month of your AA for music production. And yeah, I look forward to hearing some more beats that you got.
They're coming all day.
Now, who are your exact inspirations, like for your music? Because I know that there's like a kind of a small subgenre for what you're doing. So are there any artists that you look for that you draw inspiration from?
These days, well, in the beginning, Excision was definitely my favorite. Uh,
Hmm.
he's really got me into dubstep and like getting into like that kind of genre. But yeah, these days I like the kind of more experimental dubstep, maybe kind of the stuff that Liquid Strangers been making. Um, I like the sound that Yuki has. I feel like their like heaviness is kind of matched to mine. Like I hear some of their songs, like that's exactly what I would do. Uh, who else? I like Heckler, definitely. He's that like loud, very in your face, sound. That's the kind of stuff that I like. I feel like it matches my style really well.
Okay, yeah, I can hear it. Being completely honest, I mean, were you a big fan of Skrillex growing up, or listening to him? Because like he's kind of got like that headbanging, somewhat of that headbanging vibe.
For sure. I wasn't too into dubstep kind of until later. Back when he was really popular, I was into like more like hip hop and kind of punk and that kind of stuff. Um, but I definitely remember when it came out, and I was like, "This is cool." It's different.
Hmm.
Definitely different than all the EDM that was going on with me before.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. But it wasn't until like much later that I really got into like dubstep as like I was like, okay, this is what what I'm about. Like I really like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you feel that your past of liking hip hop and punk music helped inspire the type of music you're producing today?
Yeah, yeah, definitely the like the punk rock and like kind of metal.
Oh yeah, I could definitely hear that.
Yeah, yeah. I like that kind of stuff. It goes well because I listen to like really kind of um, heavy punk rock and like crust punk, or they just scream a lot and just really heavy
Hmm.
guitar. So I feel like I can mix that in pretty well with like dubstep. Even now people are making dubstep that's like really heavy metal, with
Oh,
this
definitely.
kind of stuff. So it fits pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean, building off that point, it's really interesting to see that a lot of rappers too are starting to pick up like
Yeah,
Zilla Kami and Sos Mula. They're starting that, like, I mean, X was doing it too. Trippy Red somewhat. There are Lil Wop too. They're doing like the goth like punk rap, and it's
yeah,
really interesting to see that it's. I've talked to my dad about this so many times. I'm like, dude, punk and rap and like certain aspects of rap, like of course like all the grunge rap and everything, it's the same energy. It's just people that just have like all this just not so much anger. It doesn't have to be anger, but it's just like all this energy, and they just want to like put it into something. So hearing it, I mean, hearing it in your beats, hearing it in rap today, like they just want an outlet to put their energy into, and it's like it's I don't understand why people are like, oh, rock and roll, blah blah blah, like people that are into rap, they're like just dogging rap like rock and roll. Like, dude, rock and roll is the same energy as rappers today, and it's like, I mean, same with EDM. It all built to where we're at today. So yeah, I mean, hearing you talk about how you put like the energy of like your punk music and being a fan of punk music into your production is really cool, because music, I mean, music crosses genres, and it's like it's more so, I don't mean to sound like a little corny, but it's more so spiritual, because it's like it helps you feel a certain way, helps you express your like how you're feeling. It's like emotional. So yeah, I mean, putting that energy and like that like grit into your music is great, because it's like you're showing kids like, yo, you're not alone, or like what you're feeling isn't only you. Like, I'm also doing it. That's why I'm putting my music. Like, I want you to release it in a certain way.
yeah, something a little bit raw. You can feel.
Oh, totally. Um, Now, when you were like growing up and everything, were your parents like were they listening to different music that helped like with your inspiration, or was it just like music that you just like listening to growing up?
They listened to like the '70s, because they listened to the music that they listened to growing up. So I heard like a lot of the Beatles, the Eagles. I got
Okay.
my dad like original Pink Floyd records and like
Oh, that's what's up.
records and stuff. So they're in some pretty good music, like definitely the blues. So they give
Hmm.
me like a broad spectrum. Um, Growing up, that's the kind of stuff that I like because that's what I heard in the house. And then it grew from there. Like as a teenager, I listened to like punk rock and hip hop and just all kinds of stuff from there.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
really got into EDM a little bit later when I was around 21.
okay. I mean, hey, it's never too late to start. I mean, you're doing exactly what you wanted to do, producing music, even though you got into EDM a little bit later than most. I mean, yeah, I've talked to one guy who's been producing for like 2 years, and he was like, I literally did not know what EDM was. I saw a flyer for an EDM rave for a rave, and he was like, and I just begged my friends to go with me because I wanted to check it out. And now he's fucking like producing music, like just doing it, like didn't even know that was what he wanted to do. And it's like, yeah, it's really interesting hearing people like, it doesn't really matter where you start if you're dedicated and if you want to learn it. Yeah, I mean, more power to you and everything. So yeah, I mean, keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, you're doing a great job. You know exactly what you're doing. You know your sound and everything. You're finding your audience. So yeah, keep producing.
Thank you, man.
Now I understand you released your an EP recently called Exo Musicology.
Yeah.
Um, how did you come about, like, that name is crazy. So how did you come about coming up with the name, and what was your inspiration or for the sound of the EP?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, the name came from a project I had in school. It was just like, what would like another like alien civilization, something like that, like their music would sound like, like a different, completely outside culture. That's what the I think the breakdown of the name is like the study of music outside of like the human, exo is like
Hmm.
outside of music. So yeah, when I was doing that project, that's kind of what I went to, like, what would music just sound like in space? And that's when I wrote the first song. Um, and then I just went from there. I was, regular kind of stuff that I would make. But yeah, I just thought it fit really well, because it's definitely like a little bit untraditional, for sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, what music would sound like in space? Yeah, totally. It sounds like it is definitely experimental, and I mean, it's crazy. Like I really liked it because it's something that I've never really heard before. And I mean, you might scare people away, but then again, people will be like, "Yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm definitely gonna listen to this again because I have never heard." Like, it's the name not only and the sound, like they all mix together, and they create like that. Yeah, that like outside of music sound, like outside of an earthly sound. And that's, I find that really interesting that a lot of like EDM producers, they're like so interested in like extraterrestrial and just space and stuff outside of the earth, and how they're able to blend it into like their music. So do you find that as like an inspiration for some of the music you come up with?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely in like the artwork and the music videos that I make, it all has like some kind of space theme, something weird going on like that. And like, yeah, I love it. Even when like I make the music, I hear a lot of like, add in little lasers and stuff. And I always imagine some sort of like space war or something going on.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of other producers kind of work that into.
You a big Star Wars fan?
Not really. I definitely am a fan, but I'm not, anything major, anything huge.
Yeah, you put a exomusicology in the next Star Wars trilogy, and then it'll be bumping.
That's right. I need that job for Disney.
Yeah, for real. No, I understand that like your end game is to start hosting and to start putting on music festivals. Have you like started talking to people yet, getting your name out, or are you just like that's just like an end goal and you're like, I'm gonna achieve that, but like you have yet to figure out the steps?
Yeah, yeah. I just think it's awesome. It's just a lot of ideas now for that. Like I see what other people are doing and like what's going on with festivals and like where it's leading and like the influence they have over everyone else.
Hmm.
So it's just like seeds in my mind, that I like think about. And like, definitely when I have situations too, I'd love to like, design and like, not necessarily host, but like it'd be cool to have like a cool design, figure some stuff out for, stages and like themes for festivals and that kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and who's to say you can't put on the next big EDM festival? That's the big thing that I'm realizing now, is that if you really have a dream and you really want to manifest it, you can go ahead and do it. Like, you just got to find the right people to back you up. You just got to find the right people to push you to be that person. And then you'll get there. I mean, it may be tough. Obviously you're going to face some roadblocks and everything, but I mean, perseverance and believing in yourself is really what's going to get you there. So, I mean, hey man, I mean, if you're meeting the right people and you're finding the right acts, like, who's to say you're not going to host the next big electronic music festival? You know what I'm saying? Um, Now, music for you is, I'm guessing, a huge part in your life. Was there ever a point when you came to your parents and you were like, "Look, I want to produce music," and they kind of just didn't agree with you, or were they like, "Okay, like we definitely see your drive for this, so we're gonna support you fully"?
They definitely supported me when I told them that I was going to get into college, or I guess back into it. They just thought it was awesome. Like, yeah, definitely. They definitely agreed that I need to be doing something that I like, to be all in. So yeah, music school was a good fit.
Yeah,
Really.
I mean, you can always like it's great. You always want to do something that you love, but also have a backup. So like that college degree, it's gonna serve you well if like, I mean, you always be like, yo, I graduated college, and no one could take that away from you. Like,
Yeah,
you really put your time in, you really put your hours in, and you're still doing what you love. You're still producing music, and you even got like an associate's degree for producing music. Like, who's
yeah,
who's gonna take that away from you? Like that's what you need. You need to get that to get to the extra the next level and everything. So yeah, man, congrats, seriously. And that's huge that your parents like which fully supported you. Like I've talked to a couple people where they were like, oh yeah, my parents were a little skeptical at first, but then they saw like the kid's talent and they were like, oh, never mind. Yeah, you got this, you got this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's pretty
doing
fun.
something, you got to do something. So they're just glad I'm out there, not going to settle for like some 9 to 5, minimum wage kind of job. So
Oh, definitely. And it's better that you realize that early so then you don't actually go into that. And then you're just like 45, 50 years old and you're just like, damn, like it's too late for me to want to like get into music, but I did not want to do this. So yeah, I mean, it's great to be like very sure of yourself at an early age and even like early in your career. I mean, you find it immediately and then you just kind of run with it and you figure it out along the way. So
yeah, I know this is exactly what I want to be doing. So it's nice.
yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, do exactly what you want. Don't let anyone tell you what you can't do.
Thank you.
Um, are you what's the future looking like now? Are you producing music? Are you just hanging out, or are you just kind of like taking it day by day?
Definitely making more music every day. Still learning. Still practicing DJing. Seeing what I can do from there. I want to get more into like making, music visualizers and stuff for live performances and that kind of stuff to go with my music. I already have like a half an album working, a couple songs so far. After the last EP, because after that, I didn't really get burnt out. I'm like, all right, I need to take a little break, so I don't
Mhm.
burn myself out. I actually wound up moving in between then, so it was a nice little break.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah. Since then, I've been just been getting a few songs started. Keep going from there. Spreading my music around, getting done like the right way. Into like what's the word? I'm like dispos and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, that's great that you're taking this time and taking advantage of literally just staying at home and just like producing.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and that's also great that you're able to recognize when you take a step back. I mean, you don't want to. I was talking to a couple people and they're like, you don't want to keep pushing yourself and knowing that you can get there. Um, and then all of a sudden you just hit a roadblock and you're like, bro, I'm done. Like I can't push past this. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that's great to take a step back and just let your mind reset and resettle before the ideas start flowing.
yeah. There's always something to do. So if it's not actually making music, there's always something to work on. You got to balance everything.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
you can't be pushing any one thing too much.
And that was really interesting what you said earlier that you're trying to create like different backdrops and stuff for artists. Multifaceted, man. If like you could like two hits, like you could do people's you could do the set before you. Like if you go on at a at a festival, you could do their set and then you could do your set and literally perform.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is like, I mean, you're unstoppable at that point. No one can tell you no. Like you're
yeah,
literally making stuff for other people and controlling how the crowd reacts to them.
yeah. That all goes together with like the long run of like having the festival. You have your own visuals and the lights.
Mhm.
It's all one big piece.
Yeah, totally. Now you mentioned that you're DJing. Are you just like, is that like just a side thing that you did, or you started off DJing and you just kind of stuck with it?
It came after because eventually I wanted to be a producer, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to learn how to play this live. And I was kind of interested before in DJing, but yeah, at a certain point, I was like, I'm just gonna buy a deck and learn. And once I did, I started loving it.
Mhm.
So it's more of a hobby now. But they go hand in hand because yeah, I will want to like perform and like be able to play my music live at festivals and stuff at a certain point.
Yeah, dude, DJing is so much fun. Like I would recommend it to anybody. It's like my a good friend of mine from like middle school. He started DJing like in middle school,
Nice.
and he just kept doing it. I mean, he's trying to produce now, but he I mean he hasn't stopped like DJing, and he came over one summer and just like taught me like the real basics, like just like the beat stops, the four beats, the two beats, the like the 8/6 whatever, like the breakups. And because I didn't know that, I was like, dude, I love seeing people just like enjoy themselves, throwing on music, mixing music, like just messing around on the turntables. And yeah, dude, it's fun. He's like, the one thing he told me to do was he's like, learn your music and learn your BPM. Like he's like, know your music inside and out, because when it comes time, you'll be able to in the moment just throw on a song, and then in the next moment throw on another song, and then just keep the crowd, just keep the vibe going. Is there like a specific, yeah, excuse me, is there like a specific way that you DJ? Because like I go from like a low BPM to high BPM, or are you just like you just kind of go with it?
Um, with dubstep, it's kind of all over the place. It can be. generally you want to keep the flow going. Like you can't just like be mixing and just straight drop from drop from drop, because then you know you have to be like at least two and then a little, give the crowd a little break, you know. So
Yeah.
a little bit of, you know, build, and then you can build even higher from there, you know. So I feel like yeah, there definitely has to be a flow of like high energy peaks, and then like for a song or two, and then slow it down a little bit, you know, or at least have like
Mhm.
an intro to a song playing, something.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as long as you got the club and the crowd just banging their heads, I mean, what like really what more can you ask for?
Yep.
Have you now like it well before all this went on, were you getting like shows or as a DJ or as a producer, or were you like, or are you still trying to like
No,
get your foot in and get yourself like a show?
I honestly just kind of started going public with my music in like April or so, or March, I think. Like I'd been learning and everything, like making music. I would just post like Snapchats and little stuff on Instagram, but just started like, you know, SoundCloud and all that, and like my official artist page on Instagram in March, just so, like, because I'm like, I'm just gonna start putting my stuff out there. You know, I feel comfortable enough at the point with it where I'm like, I feel like it could be, it doesn't suck, you know, completely suck. So I can at least put it out there for some people to hear.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, you should never feel that you have to put stuff out. Yeah, definitely take your time, figure out where your sound is, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I design clothes. I want to start my own brand and everything. And yeah, dude, like let's be real. Like the first couple things I designed, I was just like, what's like I didn't know how to use. I didn't know how to use like Photoshop. I didn't know how to do shit. So I was
Yeah,
just using like I was using like custom ink, and I was just like throwing stuff on. Like it looked hard at the time, but looking back at it, I was like, dude, I and like even at the time, I was like, I know I can do better than this. Like I know that I can this is just like because I don't know anything. But yeah, like you should. And at that time, I wasn't showing anybody anything. I was just doing it for myself because I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to work my way to get to a place where I can feel confident to show people. So yeah, man. I mean,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, yeah, your sound is starting to like find itself, and you're starting to feel comfortable. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Keep learning. Keep pushing. And I mean, you'll be unstoppable. Trust me.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Um, I could sit here and I could chop it up with you all day about music, about life, about everything really. But I know you're a busy man. You got to produce some music. You got to get to those turntables. So I'm gonna ask you a final question. It's a two-part question. So first thing is, what is one piece of advice you would tell either a younger you, like starting out and everything, or like a brand new producer, artist, whatever, creative, that you would want them to know? And on top of that, is there anybody? Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be small. Just any artist right now that you've been listening to, that you've been bumping, or is there like a friend of yours that you're collabing with, or that you feel that they deserve just a shout out?
Um, First question, I would just say, yeah, learn the fundamentals. Just, you know, kind of so you know what you're doing, and then just have fun with it. You know, find your own sound. Don't really try to worry about if it sounds exactly like anyone else, because that's what everyone's trying to do. You know, you'll go farther just being yourself and having fun with it. Um, and your second question, I haven't really listened to too many new artists lately. I've been like, you know, really pretty busy and like making my own stuff. Definitely shout out you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Of course.
Um, Mostly what I've been recently listening to is kind of what I've mentioned already. A lot of like Liquid Stranger, EPROM, some kind of weird dubstep stuff. Um, like the normal kind of stuff. There's been so many cool live streams lately. I've been trying to catch up on all the good stuff. You know, some crazy stuff been going on. So yeah, I've been trying to catch up on all those too.
All right, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, be authentic, be yourself, and the right people will find you. Yeah, don't change for anybody. Literally, like if you start acting like someone you're not, you're gonna get called out eventually. I mean, we saw what happened to 6ix9ine. As goofy as that is, but yeah, I mean, and yeah, just be authentic, be yourself. Don't listen to the haters, but don't take it to heart. Like just be like, okay, like I understand. Like, hey, you have your own opinion and everything, but yeah, man. I mean, you're doing you. You're being yourself, and I could definitely hear that in your music. So yeah, keep pushing, and I really hope, and I really believe that in a couple of months, in a couple of years, who knows, whatever the timeline is, like you'll be somewhere a lot more ahead of where you were today. So, of course. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you again to our special guest, Monster D producer. Check him out on Instagram at Monster D Music. That's all one. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and we look forward to seeing you on our next podcast. Peace out, guys.